She never drew a sword. She never hired a hitman in the modern sense. She never visited the scene of the crime. And yet, a man died. His property was stolen. His family was destroyed. And she orchestrated every step from the comfort of her palace. Most people know the name Jezebel as an insult, as a symbol of wickedness, but most people don't know the actual case, the actual evidence, the specific crime she committed, and exactly how she pulled it off. Today, we're going to examine Jezebel, not as a symbol, but as a suspect. Let's open the case.
To understand the crime, we need to understand the criminal. Jezebel was not Israelite. She was the daughter of Ethbaal, king of Sidon, a Phoenician ruler whose name literally means Baal lives. She was a princess raised in a culture where the king's word was absolute, where gods demanded blood sacrifice, where power was not shared, it was wielded. She married Ahab, king of Israel, and the Bible is blunt about the effect of that marriage. There was never anyone like Ahab who sold himself to do evil in the eyes of the Lord, urged on by Jezebel his wife, 1 Kings 21:25. She brought Baal worship into Israel. She ordered the execution of God's prophets, hundreds of them. She had a personal staff of 450 prophets of Baal and 400 prophets of Asherah, all eating at her table. She was not a background character. She was the power behind the throne. But the crime that seals her case, the crime we're investigating today, was not about religion. It was about real estate.
Naboth the Jezreelite owned a vineyard. It was right next to King Ahab's palace, prime location. Ahab wanted it. He offered Naboth a fair trade, a better vineyard elsewhere, or the full market price in silver. Naboth refused, not out of stubbornness, out of theology. In ancient Israel, family land was sacred. God had allocated land to each tribe, each family. Selling it was not just a business decision, it was a covenant violation. Naboth told the king, "The Lord forbid that I should give you the inheritance of my ancestors." That was a legally and spiritually correct answer. And Ahab, to his credit, if you can call it that, accepted the refusal. He went home, lay on his bed, turned his face to the wall, and sulked. He wouldn't eat. That's when Jezebel entered the room.
Get up off that bed. Are you a king or a coward?
We are about to break down exactly how Jezebel constructed a murder using forged letters, a rigged legal system, and false witnesses. This is where the cold case gets forensic, and I want you subscribed before we get there. Hit that button. Come back Thursday, we open a new case. Now, back to the palace. Here is Jezebel's method, and it is chillingly sophisticated. Step 1. She wrote letters, in Ahab's name, sealed with his royal seal. The king never wrote those letters. His queen used his identity, his authority, without his knowledge. Or did he know? The text leaves that ambiguous. What we know is, the seal was his. Step 2. The letters ordered the city elders to declare a fast. A fast in ancient Israel was called during times of national crisis, calamity, mourning, sin. By calling a fast, she set the stage for a public accusation of sin. Step 3. Naboth was seated in the prominent place, the position of the accused. And two men, the text calls them sons of Belial, meaning men of no worth, scoundrels, accused him publicly of cursing God and the king. Two witnesses, because Mosaic law required two witnesses for a capital charge. She used God's own law to frame an innocent man. Step 4. Naboth was taken outside the city and stoned to death, legally executed on false testimony, orchestrated by a queen who never set foot in that courtroom. When news reached her that Naboth was dead, she went to Ahab and said, "Get up and take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite that he refused to sell you. He is no longer alive, but dead."
Elijah the prophet confronted Ahab in the vineyard. God's verdict was delivered directly. Ahab's dynasty would be destroyed. And Jezebel? God said, "Dogs will devour Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel." Years later, exactly that happened. A military commander named Jehu overthrew Ahab's dynasty. When he came to Jezreel, Jezebel put on makeup and looked out of a high window. Her last act was to face death with defiance. She was thrown from that window. Horses trampled her. And when they went to bury her, there was almost nothing left. The case of Jezebel raises a question that still haunts modern legal systems. What do you do when the law itself becomes the weapon? When the courts, the witnesses, the documents, all fabricated, all coordinated, become instruments of murder? Naboth had no defense against a queen who could forge signatures and manufacture witnesses. And that is precisely why his story is in your Bible, because God saw what the court didn't. Case closed. Justice delayed, but not denied. This is Bible Cold Case. See you Saturday.